going on, guys? My name is PS Sarker over on Razor Tasty's channel right now to bring you guys an amazing gameplay by Razor Tasty for the hashtag TapXRC. So basically what you guys are going to be watching in the background is the world's first level 1 double DNA bomb with a 3-man party. He was playing some uplink on the map Biolab. This is an amazing gameplay, guys, and you know, if you're on TapX and you want to recruit Tasty, he's a really great player. I highly suggest you guys give him a chance, so definitely remember to enjoy the gameplay. So anyway, also the commentary that I'm going to be doing is also for the TapXRC for myself, PS Sarker or FPS Sarker. My link will be down in the description, as well as this will also be going up on my channel. So this commentary is going to be for the TapXRC. This is going to be my submission to the TapXRC, and then I just have Tasty's gameplay in the background, which that gameplay is for his submission to the TapXRC. So I hope that doesn't get too confusing. But anyway, let's get started with today's commentary. I've got a really funny story to tell you guys today, so this is going to be pretty good. So a couple of months ago, or like back in August of 2014, we went on a cruise to the Caribbean, and it was really cool. We got to go to a bunch of cool islands like St. Thomas, St. Martin. Well, we get off the boat in St. Martin, and my parents booked a shore excursion, and they're like, we're going to go yacht racing. And I'm like, yes, yacht racing. And when I think about yachts, and when 95% of the population thinks about when they think about yachts, is like a luxury yacht with like hot tubs and like, I don't know, what else do yachts have? Just like lounge chairs or whatever, and just lay out in the sun, and then you get to race those across the Caribbean. That's awesome. We get up to like the dock or whatever where the sailboats are, or the sailboats, yeah, the dock or whatever, and we find out that these yachts are actually sailboats, and they just call them yachts. They're like the yachts from the 1800s, which was basically just sailboats, and it was kind of stupid. And the other bad part was we had to do manual labor on vacation. Ew, manual labor on vacation, that's awful. But anyway, we had to do it. So anyway, we get on the like yachts or whatever, the boats, and my parents knew that like this all ahead of time, that we would have to do work and stuff, and they just didn't tell me. Like, oh yeah, we're going yacht racing. That way I guess so I didn't complain or whatever. So I wasn't complaining. I got on the boat, and the way everyone got assigned jobs and stuff, so there are 4 people on the job that I was on. I forget what it was called, but basically what you had to do, the way the mechanism was set up was there was a pillar in the middle, 2 bars coming out from either side of the pillar with 2 grips on each bar, so 4 grips in total, 2 people to each side and stuff like that. And I got put on this job, and basically you had to crank the crank thing to turn the sail. So I get put across from some like weird old lady person, and then her husband and her son are on the other side. So basically the way the mechanism is set up is that like basically if they were cranking the crank by themselves, I mean the lady didn't do anything, our crank would still spin because it's connected. So that's an important point to make. I just want to make that point clear. That way, trust me, it matters later on in the story. So anyway, we start doing it, and the captain guy's like, be careful, that thing, like, it goes really fast. If you let go, it can snap around really quickly and break your wrist. So we start doing it, and it gets really fast. Like, I feel like my shoulder's about to come out of my, like, socket. It is going that fast. It is intense. And the lady decides that it's going to be a good idea to let go of the crank. So she lets go of the crank. The crank comes around, spins around, hits her right in the wrist, probably broke her wrist. I'm not 100% sure, but she just looks up, she just grabs her wrist, she's like, ah, and she just looks up at me, and like everyone hears her scream, and everyone just stops talking, they stop doing their jobs and just stare over at this lady, and all of a sudden she looks across at me and she's like, you hurt me, in that voice. I am not joking, guys. And she thought it was all my fault since I was the person that was across from her, and she assumed that I was going too fast for her, causing her to like break her wrist or whatever. But really it was me plus her husband and her son on the other side of the pillar. So anyway, she just looks up and she's like, you hurt me, and I don't really know what to say. Like, at first I thought she was joking or something, but it turns out she wasn't. So the captain guy comes over after she says, you hurt me, a couple more times, and he's like, ma'am, what seems the problem? Are you okay? Is your wrist okay? And she's like, all she can say is, he hurt me, in that voice. And her husband and son are just kind of looking at her like weird, and they're also shooting me a dirty look, and the captain's like, well, will you be able to continue with your job? And all she can say is, he hurt me, grabbing her wrist. So he just sticks her in like this cargo hold thing in the front of the ship where we had to put all the bags and stuff at the beginning of the excursion, and she had to go sit there for the rest of the time. She was miserable. The captain ended up taking over the crank job with me, so that was obviously pretty good. It still went really fast, and it felt like my shoulder was getting pulled out of my socket, but whatever. And yeah, so anyway, that was pretty funny. But if that wasn't funny enough, we get back on the ship, and every time for the rest of the vacation we see this lady around the ship, she's like, you hurt me every single time. And then so we get back to Florida and we were going to Disney World or whatever for a couple of days afterwards, so we had to go to a rental car place. So I was putting my luggage in the back of the rental car at the rental car place next to like the cruise terminal, and all of a sudden I hear this behind me. You hurt me. So like she's literally right behind me, she's right there being weird and stuff. People from the rental car place are just staring at her like she's got like 9 heads, and obviously she's probably psychotic or something. She probably broke her wrist, I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, like who does that? He hurt me. That's kind of stupid. But anyway guys, if you guys did enjoy this, definitely remember to leave a like on the video, and if you're from TapX and you're looking at recruiting people, I'm always open to joining you guys. Like, you guys want to consider me, that'd be awesome. As well as definitely consider Tasty. He brings awesome gameplays to the table for that TapX RC. So anyway guys, thank you so very much for watching. Truly do appreciate it, and I'll catch you all later. See ya.